Hello, my name is Dominic Moxon. I'm the Senior Product Manager at FAI for timing chain kits. Today I'm going to demonstrate our timing chain kit range and also some fitting tips. In this kit TCK4S we include all the parts required for a full repair. This includes the camshaft gears, the stretch bolts that must be replaced when fitting the new camshaft gears, the crankshaft gear, and please note that this must be facing front, the timing chain, which is made from solid bush rather than split bush, which is to the OE specification. We also include the 3 guide rails, all made from nylon 60 grade. In TCK4S we include this tensioner, which is the early design. As you can see, the back of the tensioner has a flush face with a small oil well. We do an alternative kit TCK116 for later engines, depending on chassis number. This later engine uses an alternative tensioner with a much larger oil reserve, and you must fit like for like. Inside the box we also include the gaskets and seals and some additional information. There are some self-adhesive labels which should be used to put under the bonnet and inside the logbook to show when the kit was replaced, the mileage, and that the filters and oil were changed. We also have a best practice document which explains what should be done prior and during installation. Inside the box you will find this board, which is here to protect the gaskets. Here you have the timing chain cover gasket and the front crankshaft seal. Again, our seal is to OE specification using dual polymer technology. So having shown you why you should choose an FAI kit, let's go to the garage and see how the job's done. It is vital to make sure that the engine is completely purged of old oil. To do this, add an engine oil flush and run the engine for the recommended period. Any contaminants left in the engine can severely compromise timing chain performance and can lead to failure. Drain the oil whilst the engine is still hot. Timing chains are more complex to fit than belts, and so it is more time consuming and expensive. So it is vital to get everything right. Manufacturer dealers would have you think that this job is more suited to them, but with our kits, this is actually a fantastic opportunity for the aftermarket. More and more cars are being made with chains rather than belts, as engines can be made smaller whilst retaining performance and power. To retain engine synchronization, locking tools must be inserted into both camshafts and the crankshaft. Here you can see the locking bar holding the camshafts in position. Using a socket, gently turn the crank until the locking pin slots into place. It is now safe to remove the old timing chain assembly. Inspect the components that are being replaced as you remove them. As we will make clear, every stage of the refitting of an FAI timing chain kit requires complete and absolute cleanliness. This is because these are precision parts that rely on the free flow of oil at the right pressure through small oilways that keep the chain properly tensioned and lubricated. Now remove all the old timing chain components, which will include the camshaft gears, crankshaft gear, the timing chain tensioner, the gasket, and all of the nylon chain guides. These can be discarded as they will be replaced by new parts in the FAI timing chain kit. Make sure that nothing obstructs the oilway that runs through the top guide from the cylinder head, as this is the only pressurised oil feed to the chain. It must be emphasised that all dirt and old oil residue is completely removed, otherwise the chain can fail. Quality is paramount with timing chain kits. That's why all FAI kits are made to OE matching standards. Now we are going to see a timing chain kit being changed. Make sure that the crank gear is fitted with the side marked front facing away from the engine. This is the early type camshaft gear produced by Vauxhall, which was made from one piece, as you can see. This design was dropped by Vauxhall in 2005. It has been replaced with a later design which, as you can see, does not have the captive spacer. The modification that Vauxhall came up with, and we have emulated, is to have the gear and a separate spacer. The spacer has a rebate in it. The rebate must go onto the gear as so that it allows for the curvature of the gear. The new bolt then goes through the gear. With all surfaces clean and prepared, fit the gasket and timing chain kit components. Securely fit the two nylon guide rails. And fit the upper rail, which also pressure feeds oil to the chain. The new tensioner comes preloaded with a locking pin. Do not remove the pin until you are sure that everything is fitted correctly. Again, you must work cleanly. Pay attention to the gasket surfaces and the timing chain cover. The new dual polymer crankshaft oil seal is now fitted. This should be an easy push fit. Again, clean all prepared surfaces with brake cleaner or similar. You can then refit the timing chain cover. Lubricate the oil pump drive before fitting. Make sure that you replace the water pump gasket and then refit the water pump. With the new timing chain kit installed and the locking tool still in place, use the phase sensor tool to align the sensor trigger. Torque the camshaft gears according to the manufacturer's recommended settings. Tighten the crank bolt. Again, this should be to the manufacturer's recommended torque figure. At this stage, you can remove all locking tools from the camshafts, crank and inlet camshaft phase sensor. Then turn the engine over by hand for 2 revolutions to make sure that everything is synchronized. Fit the new rocker cover gasket and refit the rocker cover. You are now ready to reinstall all of the engine ancillaries. Complete the surety of absolute cleanliness by changing the oil filter and cleaning the faces of the sump and block, ready for the new gasket, as well as ensuring that the sump and the oil pickup pipe are completely clean. Fit a new sump gasket and refit the sump. Replace the crankshaft locking pin plug. You must refill the engine with the correct quantity of new oil, as recommended by the vehicle manufacturer. Failure to do this can result in the chain tensioner failing. To help you, every FAI timing chain kit box will have a label on the front that shows the correct type and grade of new oil that is specified as OE. All the work of fitting the new chain kit can be undone by failing to observe this simple step. For subsequent topping up, ensure your customer is aware of the correct grade of oil for their engine. Be sure to include this information on the label supplied. Make sure you see our catalogue or download it from our website. It contains over 200 part numbers, which covers over 3,500 vehicle applications. Thank you.